All right. Hi, my name is Ash Singh. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Ash. Thank you very much. Good morning. As you know, recently the World Bank has published a report that says globally we have almost 1.5 billion disabled people who are registered as a disabled, and they have some
Wow.
kind of disability. And unfortunately, they do not have any dedicated transportation or safeguarding procedure for them. And they are the most vulnerable people in our community who are threat to various kind of abuse and threat. So my
Mm,
name is Samit Biswas. I'm the chief dreamer of Hippo Mobility. Hippo Mobility offers a technology-driven end-to-end transportation services for disabled, elderly people, and non-emergency patients. Hippo Mobility is the
mm,
first in the world to offer live streaming of the whole journey with an extra
mm,
cameras inside the vehicle and outside the vehicle with remote
mm.
medical monitoring. We are the first one in the world that offers technology, transportation, and service under one platform. We are here to raise £2 million to extend our services in UK and also plan to launch in other overseas markets. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Um, we love what you're working on. I think it's a very interesting space. You talked about 1.5 million disabled people. Wow, that's a
Billion,
big number.
yeah,
One
1.5
point.
billion.
Wow. So basically, one out of every six persons
Exactly.
on the planet. Okay. And you talked
Exactly.
about people that are disabled, or they're. How do you classify that? They're either disabled or elderly. Elderly.
Basically, the way we characterize it, even in UK, the Office of National Statistics and US Census, they put it those have any kind of disability which restrict them move freely. It means they
Yeah.
might not be able to go on their own. It might not be able to use normal transportation on their own. So they need additional help. That might be with the wheelchairs, without wheelchairs. So these are the all registered disabled. And then apart
Okay.
from this, we also have a short-term disability, like somebody is going for a knee replacement surgery, hip replacement surgery, or spine
Okay.
surgery. So
Okay.
that is also there. So it's a huge untapped market. We have some access of the market report. It says is almost $200 billion market by 2028 is coming to be.
Okay. Is that the transportation market
Yes,
for the disabled?
non-emergency is non-emergency transportation market. So that includes disabled people as well.
Okay. Okay. So it's part of the $200 billion.
Yes.
Okay. So what's interesting about what you're working on. So it's first of all, what I've found over the years is that everyone loves to work on stuff that what we would call sexy, right? You're making stuff for the top 1% of the world, right? You see some of the apps that are out there today,
Yeah.
and it's like, why are people building stuff like this when we have to think about the elderly? We have to think about, our brothers and sisters that are in the developed world. Right now with COVID, you have all these challenges that they're facing. How come we're not spending time on stuff like this? So, I have all the time in the world for people like you, Summit, that are actually thinking about people beyond myself, right? You are creating something that is going to help enrich the lives, because people always talk about, oh, we want to improve the world by having another app that helps you find out where you can buy ice cream. Okay, that's not improving the world. That's just getting people obese with sugar. Okay, what you're doing is you're recognizing that when I look at what you're doing is you are applying the Uber model, okay, in a safe environment specifically for the disabled community. So you look at what Uber did, you've added the cameras, you've added a couple of more support metrics around your app, okay? And what you're doing is you're taking a specialized because a lot of disabled people use Uber, but
Yeah.
it's not good enough. What you're saying is this is kind of the dedicated, customized solution
Mhm.
that we've added on top of kind of the ride sharing mechanisms to
Mhm.
make sure that these people feel safe,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
safe, secure, and they improve their lives. Correct?
Exactly. No, not only that, Ashna, a couple of things I like to add for the all audience as well.
Mm,
The reason the disabled people are one such area. that nobody thinks. Even the local governments, you go everywhere, you hardly
Mm.
find any accessible transportation support system. We have done some studies in Austin, we have done some studies in Chicago. You will
Yes.
difficult, you have to book 48 hours in advance to get a metro transportation for disabled people. How do you know
Mm.
if I have a chest pain now, or if I have a broken leg now, how can I wait for 48 hours to go there? An ambulance
Yeah.
is, you can't afford. Simple as that. Because the study we have done in East Austin, people can't have even 4 times meal. How can you think that they can afford an ambulance just for a medical appointment? And
Yeah.
nowadays, after
Understand.
this COVID, you have seen the mental health issue, how difficult it is if the people are sitting back at home long time. And thankfully, in last 4 years, we have several incidences, several stories that we help people to change their life. And one of the most important thing in our video, everywhere use him, is Jeff. Jeff is basically a double amputee. He was completely homebound. Before us, he was like in a mental shock. So after he started
Mm.
using us, he started his own cafe.
Mm.
He has his own livelihoods. So initially we used to take him day in and day out. Now he understands the tricks. Now he bought his own vehicle. But the
Mm.
whole idea is to we change the life. He's not only
Mm.
just transporting. And don't talk about Uber, because it happened to me personally. I was in Chicago. It was heavily snowfall that day, and they dropped me
Mm.
in wrong address. The driver was so
Wow.
reluctant; he was not ready to listen to me anything. And my mobile
Yeah.
network was not working. From UK I went to US.
Of course.
There's not enough data. Something happened wrong, and
Yeah.
1 hour I was like complete out of the world.
Yes.
So think if
Yes.
that happened to a person, and we keep on hearing about the story. They drop the wrong address, they're not listened to them, they are not allowed to take the guide dogs, all those things. So
Yeah.
here, what we are offering, not only the transportation, the service, our main core areas are technology and training. The drivers, they are our
Yes.
biggest asset. The amount
Yes.
of training we give them, they are not a paramedic, but they're like a paramedic. They can administer oxygen, they can offer you support, they can call
Wow.
999 or 911. So these are
Sure.
the core areas that we offering, and they're
And
completely
so,
unique.
Samit, I love this. I want to talk a little bit about, because we're talking to an investor. Okay. So let's
Yep.
talk about the market and the money here. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because like everything, some people might not care about disabled people, but they want to make money. Okay. So let's just have that frank conversation right now. Tell me about, if a typical ride cost me, say, 20 quid, right? 20 pounds or 20 US
70
dollars.
pound is our return journey cost.
Okay, so relative to an Uber, is it 2x, like double the price or triple the price? What would that look like?
No,
I'm comparing because investors know Uber now or
yeah,
a
yeah,
taxi. So tell
yeah,
me the price difference. Is it double the price or
yeah.
triple the
It's double.
price?
It is
Double.
double. It's double than
I
Uber.
guess that actually. I was guessing that you do that. And what you do is you train the right service staff and stuff like that. And what you're saying that this not only helps people for kind of their medical related journeys to the hospital, but
Mhm.
this will also enable them to build livelihoods. Because if you have a service like this,
Mhm.
you can have disabled people have the opportunity to go to a place of employment, right?
Mhm.
Like a cafe,
Yeah,
and make that happen. Okay.
exactly.
And so when they do this, is it the same process like an Uber? Is it like, you're going to have an app, you're going to call them, and you're going to know that the person has been trained up in the right way with being able to provide oxygen and CPR and all of the health related stuff?
Yeah.
And all it is, it's just double the price, correct?
No, no, no. It's more like a service centric, as you said, and our whole business model is human centric. So, and the reason we're saying human centric, because it's not only the like transportation, as I say, the personalized support. Our driver goes inside if they need a special support to go on wheelchair,
Oh,
put the
okay.
sleepers, take them
Yeah.
from the home.
Okay.
Sharon, my colleague, our operation director, is also in the call. She knows like every
Yes.
time how we do and the risk assessment. So we don't compare us with an Uber, but we obviously compare us with an ambulance, because what we are doing, we're offering ambulance level services at the cost of an Uber on that way,
Okay.
because we are
So,
regulated by CQC here, like healthcare. We also have local councils that regulate as a private hire, but we try to
yes.
avoid that thing. We are more like healthcare thing, medical appointments, and people do really appreciate our services. In last four
Love it.
years, apart from our like public contracts from NHS and councils, we have touched upon almost 4,000 lives, and each and every
Mm.
customer is happy. Sometimes they even come back because they have no other option.
So the thing is that So I love this, and I want to pitch your idea back, right? I want to give some feedback. But one of the things is you know, you have some traction already. Summit, you've started this. You've already got a couple of rides happening, and the system working in the UK,
Yeah,
right?
we
In
have
London.
already $500,000 revenue with us.
Okay. Okay. And how many rides are you doing? Like, give me some numbers in terms of rides and market traction.
Yeah, so as I said, like if you see the whole the day we started this one, we have done almost more than 10,000 rides as on
Okay.
today.
Okay.
And
Okay.
on an average, like daily we do on an average around 2 to 3 rides kind of thing, because this is a very specialized and advanced bookable service. And one question you ask, how people book us. So we have a
Okay.
like as I said, human centric. So we have a free phone number where anybody can
Okay.
pick up the
Oh, so
phone
you just
and
call.
book.
Some people
Yes,
might not be able to use an app, right? Because
exactly.
it might
And
not.
then we
Okay.
also do have a app. Like if I book for my parents, I love to go through an app. And
Got
then
it.
also the web booking platform, so they can go to website, they can book it there, and everything is seamless booking process. But if you book through
Mm.
app, you can see the whole journey. You can see, even we're
Yes.
also building a technology so that in case they get panic or all those things, even the carer or the family person can talk to the person sitting in the car directly through the two-way camera and the microphone.
Yeah. Can insurance companies help subsidize your cost of transport?
Insurance company not subsidizing, but yes, US market we are targeting on that way. Like in UK, it is mainly the private sector, so it's not so
Got it.
public sector,
Understood.
not much of insurance.
Understood. I'm going to pitch your idea. Samit, you get to be a rich investor in the UK. You can be, anyone you want. Just introduce yourself
I
and I'll get started.
Yeah, I like to be Sundar Pichai, Google CEO. He's enjoying others'
Okay.
money.
All right. Okay. All right. Hi, Sundar. My name is Ash Singh. I'm part of the Hippo Mobility team. I know
Yeah.
you've heard of Uber and Lyft and all these ride sharing apps, but I want to talk to you a little bit about something that's really dear to my heart, and that is the transportation of the disabled community. And you might not know this, but over 1.5 billion people actually are classified as elderly, disabled, short term disabled. And so what we've done is we know Uber has worked, but what we've done is we've created a dedicated, customized solution focused on the disabled community. And so we've created this platform, and what it allows them to do, instead of booking an ambulance, right, or going through the terrible experience for them because they're unable to go through the journey of using Uber, we've created something in between that allows them to have a safe experience end to end, and it's really going to change the lives of the community itself. It enables them to get care. It enables them to get access to work, and all of this we've done for pretty much double the price of a typical Uber ride. We've launched this company in the UK. We have over 10,000 rides. We have a trained staff. And we think that there is a unique opportunity for us to create a valuable company that transforms the lives of the elderly people around the world through transport. We're looking for £2 million to take things to the next level. Okay, and we want you to play a role in order for us to leverage all the expertise that you have at Google to make this a success. I'd love to talk to you a little bit more over a coffee. Okay. So, Summit, that's my view on what you're doing, right? What I want to do as you were doing it, I want to, when you're pitching to an investor, remember you want to go locally, okay? So if you're doing it in London, let's make London a success. What you should do, Summit, is in a lot of ways just copy the Lyft and the Uber playbook, okay?
Mhm.
Get it right. Make sure you have a premium solution that, the more well-to-do elderly that need this service, so you make enough money, and then figure out what your strategy is going to be. Because the way I look at it, Summit, as I'm thinking, okay, I think that you can build this. You already have a lot of the products done. The question is how do you go to scale, Summit? And my view around it is, the taxi drivers that have been hammered by Uber,
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah.
they would be great partners for you, right? The people that have the taxi fleets and stuff like that, because they're not. They need to make more money because they've paid for a medallion or they paid for something, and they need to make more money. And I see you as an amazing uh, uh, pivot for the existing taxi owners everywhere. And so getting that money, you build your systems and then go and you work with the biggest taxi companies around the world. Okay. And suddenly your cars are solved, your trained staff hopefully is solved, and you scale from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And
And so
exactly, and
when you,
those are our line of our thought. Actually, we are working on that model only. So
is
because
it,
it's a
is
health,
it?
yeah, yeah, exactly. Because it's a healthcare,
Okay, good.
what you decided in every market, you'll keep 4 to 5 our own vehicles and our own
Yeah.
drivers in payroll.
Yeah.
And then we will go and many people, many drivers, they're not making enough money. They have the
Yes.
vehicle. So we give them the technology, we give them the training and business. So you
Yes.
understand, like if Uber give them 60%, that will be 10 pound and then 60% of that. If we give them
Yes.
60%, it's 70 pound
Yes.
and 60% of that is almost three, four
Yes.
times more money they can make with us.
No, the thing is Summit, and when Uber first started, by the way, right? This is back, I think, 8, 9 years ago. They tried to hire me to run their Asia Pacific operations.
Mhm.
And what I do want to recommend you do is get access to the financials of where Uber was when they started, how much money they raised, what their burn rate was. Okay. Because I think £2 million might be a little bit light. Okay. You might need to raise a little bit more money. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Right. Because if you want to make it work now, you need to start thinking a lot bigger. Now, Uber is like $100 billion company now. Okay. And so you have to think about specifically what your fundable events are and how you're going to get from where you are right now to the next stage. And you might need to raise some money because your cost of acquisition of a customer, okay, a taxi driver,
Yeah.
is very high. And you're going to
Yeah.
be subsidizing stuff for a long, long time. And, it's better to get the investor to help you in that subsidy. Okay.
Good idea.
But Summit, great. I love what you're doing. It's fantastic. We wish you all the best with what you're creating. And we're just so happy that we can be associated with what you're doing because, it's truly something where you put a smile on people's faces. So let's hope that happens. And if there's anything that we can do from our network around the world, we are happy to, connect the dots and open some doors for you as well, Summit. But thank you again and congratulations, right?